Hello.
Oh, it's so good to see you again, Scott.
It
How are you?
is great
How are
to
you
see you.
been?
I've been doing very well. How about yourself?
Thank you. We're doing fine, and
Good.
I'm so happy. Nathan got in touch with me, and I saw your name, and I was like, yeah, it's the one.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I really do appreciate it that you got in touch with me, reached out again.
Yes, yes, and I was so happy to see that you are, doing something else because it was last April, and it wasn't, which is, a while, too
Yeah.
long, really, but for music, it is not too long. There's musicians, once a year, if you're lucky, and it's not easy to get a record going, and all the logistics that come with it. The deals on the digital as opposed to the vinyl, and the publishing of it all, and the producing of it all, and the getting the rights to it. So it is a process, and you've got two things within a year. That's pretty great.
It's pretty great. Yeah, it was. Well, it was kind of planned. I knew it had to be in February, March, because Deus Ex Machina was released for the very first time in March 1998.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay, I really need to settle a reissue. If it's ever going to happen, it has to be within that period of time, within those 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I've always thought whenever I released an album, it was always good to do it around my birthday, which is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, it is.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. And Michael surprised me, letting me know that Deus Ex Machina will be re-released, reissued in March, on 1st of March, 2024.
That is just awesome. So how great is that? It's so different for you. I listen to the catalog, and I listen to everything you've done, and it just stands out to me. That record just stands out in a different kind of way. I don't know if it's my favorite record of yours. I love it, but it's different. Known as the queen of Scandinavian Gothic metal. This is not Scandinavian Gothic metal. It is Gothic. It is Scandinavian, but it's not metal. It's not.
No, it's dark goth pop, probably.
Yeah, if that, and it's very ethereal and. Again, spiritual in many ways, at least for me listening. It takes me somewhere that's not of this earth, almost. Special in that way, very much. When you did it, it was a step away from what you were doing. What brought you to that place? What was there something in this music that sat differently with you in a different kind of way?
Well, yes. I was, as you already mentioned, I was very busy with theater of tragedy back then, and we came, out of nowhere, or the darkness of the west coast of Norway, right? And success just grew and grew, and I was born on the countryside of Norway, in the middle of nowhere, just in the mountains, and I've just had this very beautiful childhood. I didn't fear anybody or anything, and for me it just felt like freedom to move to Germany and just start studying German language, linguistics in Germany. Then touring the world with Theater of Tragedy. So I was just, surrender. It felt like surrendering to some kind of a plan. And then Massacre Records, that was also the record label of Theater of Tragedy back then. Okay. They got the idea that, maybe we could release a solo album with you. And I liked the idea because I had different ideas, and those ideas, artistic, musical ideas, were not what Theatre of Tragedy. They were not useful for the creative process
Right.
within Theatre of Tragedy. So when Massacre Records said, okay, we're going to give you the chance to release a solo album, I was just like, well, it has to be different. It has to be very different from what we were doing with Theatre of Tragedy at that time. So, and you know what? I was not in fear of what people would say. It's kind of, I was naive. I guess I was naive, but in a positive way, because I was not fearful about anything. So some people in the metal community were kind of reluctant. Yeah, I got the feedback that, well, it definitely takes us to a different place. We don't know if we like it, but it takes us to a different place, and that is what I wanted to convey. That is what I wanted to show, and which is more the spiritual part of me, which has always been a part of me that I've acknowledged and been aware of since I was a very, very since I was little, and it felt like something great had happened, something which felt highly authentic to me back then. It's 26 years ago.
Yeah.
And there was only one German metal magazine that wrote, well, the album is okay, we can live with it. Looking fat on the cover. So that was the only thing. But you know, that's not...
What?
I don't care.
Wow.
If that's the only negative thing to say about Deus Ex Machina, it's absolutely okay. So, well, I thought, now, 26 years later, I'm in the middle of my life. I'm going to turn 48 tomorrow, and I've come to a point in my life where I see things in a retrospective, from a different perspective. Like everything I've experienced, broken or beauty, whatever it was, it has taken me to this very moment, and to really, it has strengthened my awareness of the here and now, and the feeling of being one with everything, feeling whole and feeling authentic, feeling home and safe, feeling love, and you know, living through my heart and doing those things to serve the world and universe in my most authentic ways, singing and teaching. That has come very clear to me now, being nearly 40 years old. So, releasing Deus Ex Machina, now I consider myself to be in the middle of my life. So around for many, many years still to go.
Yes.
And yes, we have a lot of old people in my family, really old people. So now it's time to reissue Deus Ex Machina. Yes.
It's great. It's great to see this treatment to that record, because it really deserves that royal treatment, because it is special in some kind of way. It is something. I put it on and I go somewhere else, and
it is. Not even, I have to agree, it's not my best solo release. It's not my best, but it's very special. Yeah.
And I love it when it's on. It's almost past musical. It's hard to explain, and that's why I think this record needs, it needed this reissue, because it's timeless. It really is. Do you feel like it? Does it feel the same to you when you listen to it now as it did in '98? I mean, life is different for you. Your band situations are different. Your state of mind, the way you think, is probably a bit different. Does it feel the same when you listen to it now as when you recorded it?
Yes, and you know what? It feels even greater. I mean, greater. It feels even bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Because that feeling that, well, I'm trying to give you, to convey to you when you listen to the album, is that feeling I had within me when I was a child growing up in the nature of Norway.
Wow.
This is the I was born with and grew up with and still carry within me, and it's a purpose of mine. It's in my authenticity. I have this honor to give art, to offer art to the world, and to give light. And it's the same feeling as in 1998, and it's the same feeling as in 1978 when I was 2 years old.
Wow.
When I first became aware of the light.
Wow.
Of the higher self.
Yeah, yeah, and that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It really, really is. It makes this record extra special. It really does. And there's so much in this new release too. All kinds of unreleased bonus stuff. It's available on vinyl for the first time. Fans will be able to do that. It's a yin yang splatter vinyl package. It's so really, really cool looking.
And I will show something to you. It just, my doorbell just rang. Mr. Postman was here. You're the first one to see it.
All
Here
right.
it is.
Oh, look at that.
Here it is.
Beautiful.
A bunch of packages, of parcels. Here it is. I haven't even opened it myself yet. So You're the first one I share it with. It's here.
Thank you. Oh, that's awesome. That is great. And it's beautiful. And you look beautiful on the cover. It's so great. It really, really is. To get it, and I miss vinyl too. I grew up in that age, and yeah, we had that big artwork and all of that. It's great that this record is getting that, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I got all the Black Sabbath stuff on original vinyl. It's my father gave his record collection to me when I moved to Germany. So I got it. Well, I guess the albums weren't, the LPs weren't treated that well back then in the 70s.
Right.
Been through many parties, I guess, but I still, and I just love it, and opening the huge booklet, learning all the lyrics, singing along, and noticing every change and every difference between every song. In every song, we spend so much time with appreciating and getting to know this all in detail, and it's I love those times, and I still feel that love when I buy myself a new record vinyl.
Yes, and it was an event. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You didn't just stream it, put it on, listen to it while you're doing something else, and it's in the background, or one song and then you leave. It was an event.
Mm-hmm.
You opened it up, you took it out, you treated it nicely, you put it down, you dropped the needle, you sat there, you listened, you looked. It was something you did as an event, and I miss that.
And that the joy you felt before you went to that record shop to actually get it. I was paper girl. I was delivering newspapers on Saturdays and Sundays to gather the money for every vinyl record back then. So I remember the joy before, during, and after.
Yeah, it really. I mean, it was a special thing to go buy a record, and it's a shame that the generation doesn't have that, and I don't know that it takes away from the music or diminishes the importance of it. I think it may, because there's not that special thing where you save up and you go buy it and then it's yours and you look at it and you treasure it. There's not that so much anymore.
True.
Yeah. So it's good to see this record in that something we can hold and look at and treasure, even more than we do already. So it's pretty great. Tell me about the bonus material. There's all kinds of stuff. Now, is there anything is this all recorded back then, or did you record some things, find some things in the vault? What went on with the bonus material on the record?
Well, I think there was one song that didn't make it onto the album back then, onto the original release. That was, I think it was Stream in the Sun, Sun in the Stream, Sun in the Stream.
Sun in the Stream.
I think that was the one. And that we just took stuff from the hard disk, and we found demos, we found so many goodies on the hard disk.
There's a lot, yeah.
There is a lot. And then my husband, Michael, actually got in touch with Geir from Dimmu Borgir, the keyboard player of Dimmu Borgir. We're both Norwegian. And my husband knows them a bit. He met them here in Switzerland. And the thing is that he asked Geir to pick one song, which he would recompose, whatever. We just gave him the complete freedom to work with one of the songs on the original release, and he picked A Tulle med øyne blå, which is a Norwegian traditional lullaby, a folk song. It's more than 100 years old, and to me that was that song that I really wanted to add something to, because, well, first of all, it's a song that my grandmother and mother used to sing to me when I was a baby, a little girl, and we did a lot of singing in the family, but we had no musicians so far. I'm the first one, and then my sister. Right. But all those songs, they just stay alive within your heart, and you remember the sound and the warmth of your mother and grandmother, the beautiful smell, just that comfortable feeling, and the safe feeling. And then Geir said, hey, can I recompose that? I said, yes, please do. And I added, he gave me space without talking about it. He just gave me the space to add some of the knowledge I've come to, being where I am in my life now, after all, I experienced. And those words that you hear in the new version of A Tulle med øyne blå is actually a mantra that was downloaded to me when I was walking through the forest with my dog. So it's just something I really need to give to you. Wow. Out there. And Geir picked this song. It's incredible, and he just made it perfect for now. Yeah, there's been so many. There's magic with all of this.
Yeah, I feel that. I and I've always felt that, and it's great to hear that it's continuing. In the today, because I listen to it, like I say, and there's a magic to it. There's something about it that just stirs a different place. It's really special, no doubt. Now, Gunther Illi, a huge part of the record, playing a lot of the music, writing a lot of the music, producing, mixing, engineering. Tell us about Gunther and how you came to work with him with the record.
Well, it's kind of it's kind of magic too, because he was, I guess, one of a friend of one person that who used to work for Massacre Records. So that was kind of just a short way connection, and he's actually still. I do think he's still. We lost contact since then. There's no reason for it, but he is a soundtrack composer and producer, and he does that. He's been doing that for many years, also for German TV, for well-known series and stuff. And we just got together, and I was a student back then, and after university, I got on the train and drove to his studio, and he showed me what he had made, what he had composed, and I sang on it, and we sat down and we just talked about it. How can we use my voice, make the voice fit in and float, and make everything greater and bigger, and to create this energy that we wanted to create. So that was a period of time. I think it was a year or so, and then the album got released, and I can't remember I've seen him again for the last 20 years. I don't think so. Wow. So that's a connection, and it seemed to have been kind of magic too. So I really do appreciate it. I tried to contact him in connection with re-release in case I could get the original tracks, the recording tracks. Back then, we still had the
master
old
tapes.
System. Yes, the master tape. They don't exist anymore. So that's the only thing I know. Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. And that's really, that's pretty magical. That you were on the same plane. He understood he understood your mission in this record. You came together for that short period of time, really, relative to life, and did something this magical, and then parted. Peacefully parted. Pretty special. Again, really, really great. Anything in the studio that you did when putting this together? Because you're an artist. A work is never done; it's just released, right? It's never finished. It's remastered, right? Did you add or fix anything other than adding the what you just said with the traditional there? Was there anything else that you added or fixed?
We got it remastered. We did that, yeah.
Right.
We couldn't get the original recording tracks, the old
master tapes, yeah.
Couldn't get hold of them. So, but at least there was a remaster of it all. Yeah. So felt good, and of course we added new artwork. It's all up to date.
That's great. It's great. Yeah. So you didn't plug any new vocal into it or anything. It's just as it is.
It's just as it is, except from A Tulle med øyne blå. Yeah.
Right. Wow. Yeah, that's great. That's great. And that's how great it was back then. It's pretty cool. You mentioned a book of poetry last time we talked. Yeah, that you were going to re-release it with one of your older records. Is this that older record where we're going to get that poetry book?
No, it's not for that one. Okay. It's for a later one, for a later re-release. Yes, okay. Yes.
Okay.
So, but it's those 23 poems, and it's I do have a look at them every now and then I'm like, oh, maybe I could change that word. No, don't change it. Just leave it as it, because you never finish then, right.
You're an artist. An artist never finishes work.
So I try to stick to that. That when those lines, those stanzas came into existence, that was the right time and space for those lines to appear on paper. So I consider it to be perfect for what it is, and I want to stick to that. So the only thing I want to add is maybe a few drawings. And my husband and Michael and I just talked about how we want to do it, what kind of what it should look like, and which color and stuff to make it go with that album reissue. So it's still there. It's still there, and it's going to come to surface. It's going to come to life.
Great. That's great to hear. And great things come when we wait, right? All in good time.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's I think time and space and the right time and everything has its place. Yeah, I've always believed that in anything, music and life. There's a right time to do things. There's a right time to be somewhere. So, if and you it has to feel right, especially when it's your work like that. So,
Absolutely. And I'm so grateful that I can actually just kind of, enjoy that process. Sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes I have to be patient. Sometimes I just need longer. Sometimes it just happens all of a sudden. And that is, since I became a teacher for children with special needs, I'm working in a 100% work position, and that is something which is definitely an authentic part of me, a way of serving the world, next to singing, right?
yeah.
So I have both, and it fulfills me so much, and it's so great to have that, to say it as it is, that just save financial income to really lay back and enjoy the process of being creative whenever there is time and space for it. It's a very good feeling. It makes me feel grounded. It makes me feel safe with everything I'm doing. Yeah, it fulfills me. It makes me feel whole. Yeah, and very grateful.
Yeah. And that's a force you put into the world when you do things like your music, but like you do with your teaching. That's so special.
It is, and that came to surface. That authentic part of me wanting to serve the world came to surface because I was forced to leave Liv's Eyes, and I had no financial income from one day to the other. So now, in retrospect, I can say it all happened for a reason, right?
Yep.
Mm.
That's amazing. It's amazing how our lives piece together as we walk through them. And thank you for doing that, because I do have a special needs. I had a special needs child, and he is amazing, and he's wonderful, and he's older now, and he's living a life independently, and he has a partner, and it's just it's people like yourself that helped him develop and cope with things that were difficult, and fit into the world, and just the way he is, which is great.
Yes. It's I always, well, right now I'm part of a project for youngsters within the autistic spectrum, and it's just about that. It's about picking them up where they are, so they can learn something about their own strengths, so that they can get stronger, so that they can cope with the fact that they might not always fit into society as it is, and those lovely human beings are my favorite human beings.
Yeah, and my son has Asperger's, and yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it was very difficult at a young age, and
yeah.
and like I said, because of people like yourself
Mhm.
telling him that he can fit in,
Mm.
and he is somebody, and he's special, and
Mhm.
he's gonna be fine, and giving him that confidence, and he's done extremely well in his life. So it couldn't, I did as much as I could as a parent
Yeah.
and my wife, but there's only so much. You have to send them off to school, and
Yeah.
kids, at a young age don't understand those
Mhm.
things a
Mhm.
lot of times, and it's very, very difficult for a child, especially a young child. So
Mhm.
it is the people like yourself doing that. It really is. It's God's work, what you do, and it's
Thank
wonderful.
and your son is blessed because it's a son, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
he's blessed because he's got parents like you. Not all of my pupils, my kids, have that kind of support at home. They don't feel safe at home. So your
yeah.
son is blessed with you.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah,
You're welcome.
yeah. It's thank you for doing that. You had River of Diamonds
Yeah.
just recently. You got to be happy with that. I see the numbers there, and then people loving that. What a great record that is. Are you working on new solo material? Newer recordings, newer songs, writing stuff. Are you doing that still?
Well, now, okay, we're turning into this is getting magic because I started 2 days ago. I started 2 days ago. I just, I got some songs right there from my own band, from my live band, from my band members. They've been patient with me because I've been really busy with a work project, as I told you about at school, being a
Mm-hmm.
teacher. I needed some, I needed a break, and we have that in Switzerland right now because we have carnival season. So we teachers have 2 weeks off. And the first thing I did 2 days ago was to go on that link and I found 16 songs. And I'm just overwhelmed. So I'm writing lyrics right now and I'm preparing the seventh solo album. So there you go. Scott, you
Wow.
see that, huh?
That's great. It's so great. You're just constantly working, and doing this stuff that is just see, you're so special. Thank you for
Thank
doing all
you.
this. It is great. Are you working with any other artists? I see these things. I always forget to ask these things. I see things pop up like you've done so many things with different people, featured on so many songs. One of my favorites was Tear. The delay of your love. Yeah, of our love. Just a wonderful stuff. Are you doing anything like that? Just random things, sessions, or anything like that we should look for?
Well, right now there is actually a cooperation with a Greek female-fronted band, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to tell you more about that next time we meet.
All right.
I'm halfway to the studio, and yeah, I do get requests every now and then, and I love doing these cooperations because it's just you have a song which it comes as a surprise and you have to bring your own ideas. You have to be open-minded, you have to be creative, and you can it's a very fine way of sensing how can I add something to this wonderful piece of art, and
All right.
how can I kind of yes, join the person who is already singing. Mostly there is another person singing already, and I'm asked to come in and just make and complete everything. And that is a beautiful task. to get invited to do this, to add something of my authentic self. So I really love that. I can't remember I've ever said no to anybody because I just love it. It makes me creative, and it makes me very open-minded towards kind of music.
And I think that's a true artist thing. John Anderson from Yes told me the same thing. He told me that he has really never turned down anybody.
No.
He just falls into that, and it's part of his giving of himself to a piece of art. To be put into a piece of art is really something pretty dynamic. Really.
It is.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. I do want to address your website, karmasonic.net, as opposed to livkristine.net. You offer singers a chance for vocal instruction, which is a real opportunity for anybody that wants to sing, wants to learn their voice. And you also do paintings. Are you still painting? You are, right?
I am still painting, but there is nothing on stock. I paint and it gets sold, or it goes out as a present somewhere, and there is nothing here. So it's like whenever somebody reaches out asking for a painting, that's something I do then when I have the time and space to do it. So it's always personalized. It's not like I paint something and then I just sell it out. It's like, okay, this painting goes to that person.
Yes.
Belongs to that person. So there is always some magic to that too, to the colors. And I've always seen colors through music, and I always listen to music when I paint. And it takes me to a different place. I just love being there and closing the doors. And the vocal coaching is, I've had a few people who really needed some advice for stage or for the studio. There are many dirty tricks you can learn. I call them dirty tricks, but in a positive way, because they're so easy. Everybody can learn that. And how to fix your voice when it feels sore and when you feel tired, and why isn't my voice strong enough, and I need some support from my own body. How can I sense that? How can I get to that powerful place? And there are some, or most of the people who have reached out, they were singers or non-singers. They considered themselves being non-singers. And they really wanted to find authenticity in their own voice, in strengthening their own voice. Either it was singing or talking even. Yeah, so it's about becoming authentic. And it's about finding your own voice. And it's like when we are born, everybody has a special crying voice, a special cry. Everybody has. There are no babies who cries in the same way, and no mothers have the same voice, not even fathers. So I see this as the vocal part is something which is highly authentic. So, and even I, at times I felt when I didn't feel safe in my own life, like in 2016. I felt like I had no voice support, vocal support within myself. And it took a lot of strength to go on stage during those times and sing my old songs. I knew them well, but it took a lot of strength to get that voice out to the audience that I had gotten used to through practice and live appearance. So I actually had to learn all that myself, learning by doing.
Yeah.
And that is something I want to give to people out there. And sometimes there is a trauma behind that weak voice, and to to get to your authentic voice, you need to dissolve your trauma, and that is going inside, going within. And that is something you do at best when you sit down with somebody who has been through that herself.
Yeah, yeah, and that's it is a big opportunity for people that want to find their voice and need to find their voice. It's wonderful again what you're doing there, because it is, your voice is your fingerprint. It's different for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's great to find that too. And be comfortable within it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's so great. Do you plan to tour? I know you have a few dates around your area, right? Are you planning anything bigger?
I would love to. Well, the US and Middle and South America, North America, that would be amazing. I never played live in your country, in the States. Um, I did play with the Sirens in Mexico, Chile,
Okay.
Brazil. Yeah, we were there with the Sirens, but it's still a great wish for me to come to your country. I know many people are waiting, so it's something. If we start planning now, it might be possible for summer 25. We need some time to get everything together, but we have a new booker now in the team, so we're nearly halfway already. So we just need to get in touch with promoters overseas to make this happen. But it's a big wish.
Boy, that would be a real dream come true. It really would. I would so love to see you here. And I would love to come visit you in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Switzerland's such a beautiful, beautiful place. I see pictures of it, and I'm a photographer too. So, wow, it's just so wow. Everything about it is just so beautiful there. So,
You would you would love it here. It's a very safe country to live in right now. It's safe here. Really, it is. And when you see that now during the carnival season, people are free and happy and they celebrate together. And that's just beautiful. The frequency downtown Lucerne is really beautiful right now.
wow, yeah, that's just great. Oh, Liv, yeah, I so treasure this time. Thank you so much. I love and adore you, and we will do this again for sure.
Definitely, I need you. I need you to be around. And you make everything become accessible. My art become accessible. You help me to give it to the world, and I'm so grateful you're around, and you've been around for such a long time, and I just wanted to say thank you,
You are very
Scott.
welcome, and I so look forward to putting your voice in people's ears, putting your art out there. It needs to be heard by everyone. You do so much for this earth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and it's always an honor, and it's always a pleasure talking to you, and I'm so glad that our ways crossed
Yes.
in a way. It
Yes.
always is with you, Scott.
It is. It is. I always try to bring things to another spiritual level, and it's so easy with you. It's because we just meet at that special place,
Yeah.
and it's so wonderful. I treasure these times. I really do.
I do. I really do too, and I really hope that we get the chance to meet for real.
Yes, that would be
Yeah.
so great. Yeah, we'll have to make that a mission for sure.
We should. Yes, send the intention to the universe, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Liv, thank
Great.
you. For everybody,
Thank
livkristine.net. All kinds of bundles there. Of course, the River of Diamonds record there and everything else. Please go see it. Karmasonic.net as well. So many special things there. So many special things from you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will talk soon.
We will talk soon, Scott, and be safe. And thank you for doing this. I'm eternally grateful. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Have a wonderful day and a happy birthday tomorrow.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye bye, Liv.
Peace
Until next time.
out. Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.